Welcome back for another video. Hit and record just as the game week's finished, and this one we're going to talk about some of the key takeaways and looking forward to Game Week 5, along with how my team's currently lined up and transfer plans. So the Chelsea game was a frustration for anyone that had Chelsea assets, which is basically all of us, losing 1-0 home to Forest. Sterling was the most transferred in player ahead of Game Week 4. In the end, Mbeumo, Eze, Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard, Maddison, Foden and Mitoma all outscored him. Classic FPL. Jackson racked up 0.92 expected goals, missed an absolute sitter which was set up by Sterling as well. Fine margins. On another day, if he scores as expected, then that's goal and assist points if you own both, and probably bonus as well. But that's the way it goes sometimes. No reasons to panic just yet though, keep hold of your Chelsea players. Dramatic end to the game week. Arsenal defeated Man United 3-1 thanks to goals from Odegaard, Rice and Jesus. Saka got the assist off a corner for Rice's goal. Martinelli was sold by so many managers this week, myself included, and he also got an assist. Rashford scored a brilliant goal at the other end, and Holland made his assist for United. He's a wait and see, but I'll definitely be holding on to Bruno and Rashford. We found out also that Partey's out for 6 to 8 weeks, which is really bad news for Arsenal. However, I tweeted before the game that this news should massively benefit Gabriel, if anyone in the team, who did start that game, and he had a good game. Without Partey, basically Arteta's likely to line up how he did last season, with Zinchenko inverting from the left and White in right back. Also good news for Saka owners by the way, as White has the licence to push forward, which we saw against Man United. Son's been talked about a lot this weekend obviously, after netting a hat-trick against Burnley. What was different this match was he played through the middle as a forward. Solomon started in left wing where Son had been playing, Richarlison benched. And by the way, inside information from Maddison, who benched Richarlison in his FPL team. So Son's absolutely worth looking at, but also very much depends on your midfield. In my case, I've got Saka and Mbeumo, Sterling, Fernandes and Rashford, and I'm happy with those 5. It'd be a bit of a knee-jerk move to sell one for Son now. They do have Sheffield United home after the break, which is a great fixture, but then it's Arsenal and Liverpool. Ferguson also bagged a hat-trick on the weekend, but even less so in my thinking, given his competition, and Brighton have got European football around the corner. I'd have to sell Jackson as well in my case, and I'm happy to keep hold of him for now, hoping he comes good with the underlying numbers. Postecoglou said that Son was a key factor in them not signing a replacement for Kane, so I expect we'll see more of Son through the middle. Alright, goalkeepers. Another Pickford disaster, unfortunate enough to score an own goal and he finished with a 1-pointer. By the way, Archer with 1 goal 1 assist that game, 4.5 mil forward, probably go up over the break. That said, there were only 2 clean sheets across all 20 teams, so it was a really bad game week all round for goalkeepers and defenders. So if you're desperate to get rid of Pickford, perhaps on a wildcard if anything, then I'd say Sanchez and Leno are my favourite replacements. Sanchez has got Bournemouth after the break and Leno's home to Luton. So something that's worth reiterating is that it's still early and the ranks are still incredibly squashed together. So in terms of points, just a few can be a big rank swing. Over the season, the ranks will slowly spread out and your rank this early will be irrelevant, so don't worry if you've had a bad start. Likewise, if you're starting strong, don't get complacent. For example, looking at this table here, 11 points separates 2 million from 1 million, 8 points separates 1 million from 500k, 16 points separates 500k from top 100k. Right, let's talk Liverpool then. First clean sheet of the season, Trent with an assist as well, so he finished with 12 points that game. Salah scored, and he should have had 3 assists as well to be honest, no thanks to poor finishing by Nunez. One in particular where Salah laid it off to Nunez, who rattled it against the post, and it bounced straight into Cash, who scored an own goal. Really unlucky one if you're a Cash owner and started him. So that was a Cash own goal and Nunez assist instead. Salah actually hasn't blanked all season, 2 goals and 2 assists. If I was on a wildcard, I'd actually have him in. There's a fair few mids ahead of him, despite the 4 returns in terms of points, but he's shown a lot of promise and he's got good fixtures. I'd say Nunez is a pretty chaotic pick. Personally, I'd steer clear of him. You can expect to be frustrated if you're taking the risk on. Trent did go off injured that game against Villa by the way. Klopp said it's a hamstring injury but not serious in his opinion. He'll go for a scan. So Newcastle come back from the international break with a nice fixture swing now. However, they've not started the season well. Isak and Wilson are both avoids. Isak's been coming off early and Wilson scored off the bench. Botman should be back after the break, so if anything it's the defence that look worth a look in. It's probably a decision you can delay till Game Week 6 as they do face Brentford after the break, but Trippier, Botman, Schär and Burn all transfers with a lot of potential. They look like set and forget starters for the next 6 game weeks. So here's how I'm lined up for Game Week 5 with 1 free transfer. Did alright last week with 73 points but not enough for a green arrow. So as we said earlier, Partey's injury could actually be good news for Gabriel, and as it stands he's in my starting 11 for the Everton game. However, Shaw's injured as well, so there is the option to spend a transfer there and then bench Gabriel. 0.7 mil on the bank, which means any defender around 6 mil or under. Cash has really impressed me this season. Ignore the own goal, he was really unlucky with that one, nothing he could do about it. And he actually started out of position in right wing against Liverpool, but he was later forced to go into right back after Diego Carlos went off injured, which meant moving Konsa into centre back. He's got Palace at home after the break, which isn't too bad. In fact, Villa's long-term fixtures are great in general. Gameweek 6 could be a problem though if I go for him, as they're away to Chelsea that week, and it's also the North London derby, which leaves me with a light defence because I'd have to start Udogie or Gabriel. So I'm also considering a Newcastle defender. Botman and Burn could even be 4.4 mil after the break. Cher's got the more attacking threat, but he's 5 mil. The Trippier's out of reach because I've only got 6 mil, which does make me tempted to roll the transfer instead and then maybe move for him in Gameweek 6. Thanks for watching and I hope you enjoy the international break. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next upload. See you soon for the next one.